Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the breakfast show. Hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Good morning, Jose. How are you?
Pretty good. I mean, it was a rough night with the little one last night, so I'm a little bit tired. But
So
yeah,
chat, energize him.
we
Energize
had
him.
TSM earnings. Maybe once we read a little bit about TSMC's earnings, that might wake me up a little bit more. But yeah, Neil, I mean, we didn't talk too much about we talked about ASML yesterday, but I think we both did videos last night, so we can probably get even more updates on that. And good morning, good afternoon to everybody watching. Appreciate you guys being here. It helps out a lot and makes the stream go a lot better. So appreciate it.
Agreed. I think I've seen ASML in Europe already up 2-3% already today. So a little rebound from yesterday for sure.
I haven't had the time, because they drop earnings super early. Do you know if TSM increased capital expenditure? If so, I would guess that would be one of the reasons.
This is something we will talk about because
oh my god, leaving me in suspense.
This is something we will talk about. So yeah, we have here Russell saying, "Hope you both have eaten the new Shark Ninja oven chips today." Today I did already eat, so at least there is that. SJ here with a question on what the hell did I do with
I saw that,
open
Neil.
door?
What the heck did you do?
It wasn't me, because this thing was already going wild before I started to talk about it. But Jose can admit that I did talk about it with him last week in private.
Yeah, he was in private. He was telling me, let's triple, quadruple yellow this one. I was like, no, thank you, I'm okay. No, but yeah, that was pretty cool, Neil. I mean, it's still scary to see the markets in random days like this.
No, of course.
But
of course. I mean, I had a comment under the video, because I said I only put 1,000 in it for now, because I mean, still a lot of things can go wrong, and then the commenter is like, I don't understand. Why would you put only 1,000? I usually would put 10,000. And then he did a second comment. This is a very speculative name. I'm like, of course it is. That's why I didn't put 10K in it.
Oh man,
can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of mornings, so appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming in. We got a lot of great questions. And Christian here gave me the answer. Okay, I want more. We have
But Amit is also complaining about to Meta and Netflix. He wants them to do a stock split so he can buy more options. Just buy the damn shares. Just buy the damn shares. And then we will be buying open doors houses so we can reduce their inventory and maybe make the stock go even higher. But that thing is crazy. But it also it just shows what type of market we're in right now, right? It's like everything
A
goes
fun
up for
market.
some a real fun market until it isn't, right? Until it isn't a fun market anymore. But yeah. Um, anyways, European markets are green today across the board, so that's good. Asian markets are, as always, mixed, so some green, some red. US pre-market is, I'd say flat. 10 years sits at 4.47%. And for my European friends and myself, euro dollar is back at 1.15. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for more euro news here. Now, you want to jump straight into the big one?
The big, yeah, of course. I mean, I need to get my morning read on. So let's see what's happening here. I saw stock, as we see, it's up about 3% here already. So it seems the market was pretty excited. I mean, we already knew how revenue was going to beat prior expectations because we get kind of those monthly numbers. Now the question was, what was guidance? We know revenue, but what was earnings per share? Like, did their margins do really well? And to me, what was capital expenditure, right? So I think those were some of the big things here. So yeah, I mean, first off, you can see the guidance. They completely destroyed top end.
Yep.
Pretty good gross margins, right? Right, almost on the top end there. I wonder what they're gonna. I mean, I don't think they should say why they didn't hit the top end, but maybe some commentary of why it was down versus a quarter ago, because we can see it's down about 0.2 percentage points. So that would be interesting to hear about commentary. Even though operating margins did beat expectations, and net profit margins again down on a quarterly basis, but up on a year-over-year basis. So we'd love to hear maybe some of the commentaries of what's happening on a year-over-year basis and what's happening on a quarter-over-quarter basis.
I mean, and look at net income, up 60.7% year over year. That's crazy. EPS,
that's wild.
Same thing. Return on equity, 34.8%. That's up 2.1 percentage points quarter over quarter and 8.1 year over year. So, I mean, across the board here, another excellent quarter for the company.
And to be able to see that type of earnings per share, Neil, I think two things are happening. First, obviously, they're probably charging a little bit higher price on certain things. TSM has mentioned they're not going to be one that like will double or triple the price over the quarter or something like that, but they will give you a nice like 10, 15% on a year-over-year basis, depending on their R&D. I believe that's the first thing. The second thing is this is a supply chain company, a manufacturing company. So the more your capacity rate is running, the better margins you're going to get. So as you get closer to that 100% utilization rate, you're not building new equipment. You're not building new lines or anything. You're still using the same amount. So those expenses stay pretty much flat, but you're able to see that nice earnings per share grow. So that's pretty insane. That's a new Taiwanese dollar. I wonder if they kind of give us the actual value growth rate on the US rate. I see the average exchange rate there is on the bottom, but would love to see maybe more of earnings per share compared to a year ago.
Revenue wise, by technology, of course, the big chunk is still 5 nanometers at the moment. 24% does come from 3 nanometers and 14 from 7, which has been 7 has been flat-ish. 5 nanometers is increasing a little bit, and so did 3 nanometers, of course, since that announcement. And I do think that we should expect that one to start to increase a little bit more over time. But a beautiful business, right, of a TSM, of a foundry business, is that, I mean, if you do here the quick math, 7 and 5 nanometers, that's already 50%. Then another 24, so 74% is from the newer nodes, let's say. All the rest,
That's wild.
All the rest is still from the older nodes. So 26% of the revenue is coming from older technologies. And of course, all of that money is just, I guess, right now has been paid. So free money for them. That's basically the beauty here of a foundry business. By platform, of course, HPC makes up now 60% of revenue.
Wild. And was up 14% quarter over quarter. Wild.
Smartphone 27. I believe smartphone last time was down a little bit, or maybe 2 quarters ago. I believe smartphone was
It's wild, Neil. This used to be half. This used to be the not half. This used to be the majority of it before. Just like maybe a little bit about a year ago. This was and it's crazy how this AI market has completely eaten up. It's starting to look like Pac-Man is about to start closing his mouth there.
Yeah. Plus, it's almost like the Taiwanese flag, actually. So smartphone up 77%, quarter over quarter, that is. DCE up 30%, but that's only 1% of total revenue at the moment. So pretty good. Interesting to see that automotive did not grow for the quarter.
Yeah, that one was weird. I see IoT up a nice amount, 14%. Could be pretty exciting for maybe some cool technology happening. I mean, that's both manufacturing and kind of enterprise manufacturing robotics, but it could also be kind of like maybe your handhelds, like your AR glasses, your VR glasses, and stuff like that.
Manuel, you're coming with the
Love the positivity.
but you can hit restart, so at least there is that. At least there is that. Balance sheet and key indices, I don't think something's crazy going on here at the moment. So cash flows, free cash flow is down a little bit quarter over quarter, up year over year. So nothing great to report there. As for guidance for Q3, this is basically it: $31.8 billion to $33 billion. Billion dollars or new Taiwanese dollars?
No, these are $1 billion, US dollars.
Okay. I mean,
wake up, Neil.
Should have been made more clear here, yeah.
It literally says it right before.
Yeah, I know, I know. But no, because then I read based on the exchange rate assumption of $1 to 29 Taiwanese dollar. Okay, but that's for the margin wise. That's for margin. So gross profit margin 55.5 to 57.5%. So it's coming down quarter over quarter, I think, yet again. Operating profit margin to be between 45.5 and so basically 46.5% and 56.5.
And just before we go to a little bit more slides, Neil, let's just kind of there's this question here from Eddie with some of the kind of topics. I assume auto didn't grow because auto loans are high interest right now. Is smartphone growth a good indicator that could be fine at Apple? So at first, with the Apple news, I think so. I think this is a great indication that, remember, these chips are being bought right now, but it still takes time for the end equipment to be made. So it starts off as a little chip and then ends up becoming into a phone, and that takes it could take a quarter, maybe two. So it could be an indication that Apple is forecasting maybe better. I don't know when they're going to report their next phone. I think it's usually in September. Is it around September timeframe, Neil?
I don't know. I had the feeling that they showed us something. I know that was just the software side of it. Yeah, because I know Pixel has an event soon, so I guess Apple maybe in September. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just an indication that they see a healthy guidance for the future. Maybe not for this quarter, maybe not for next quarter, but at least maybe for the next 3 quarters, they're expecting some type of growth. And then for the automotive market, very similar, right? It's not just these auto companies, they don't buy the chips now based on the demand they see for today. It's for the demand that they see for 2-3 quarters from now, because even for a vehicle, it probably takes a little bit longer to build out. So it seems like the automotive makers are still very skeptical of what they're going to sell, not just this quarter, but for at least the next 3 quarters. And it could be because of that. I do believe, obviously, crazy auto loans and high interest are a reason why you're not buying cars right now. But I think these should be more of indicators of what's to come 2-3 quarters from now, not what's to come this earnings or what's to come next earnings.
Which is interesting, right? Because nowadays in cars, there are more chips than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen from Qualcomm, for example, that, well, automotive for them has been growing extremely rapidly. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, interesting. I mean, very interesting here to see
But the
automotive
other thing
side.
is, this was quarter over quarter growth, right, Neil? I
Mhm.
wonder.
Yep.
I wonder if I think last quarter, we did see a nice a nice growth overall. Maybe we can pull it up later on, but I think
Mhm.
yeah, I think the automotive market has seen some decent growth, at least compared to a few quarters.
Let me see if I can pull that one. Last quarter, it did increase 14% quarter over
Mm,
quarter.
yeah, so not barely did flat. So I mean, it seems like there still might be a nice uptrend. I wish they would give us that year over year
Yeah.
growth sometimes. That would be a little bit more helpful.
Although, I got you, my friend. I got you.
There we
Al-
go.
Although we have this one right here.
But it's so weird.
Here.
Yeah,
I know it's just
this
giving
is
us net revenue
by
as a
platform,
percent.
right? Yeah,
Um,
but I think it should be seen as a healthy indication that everything, high performing computing is growing dramatically, and it's not eating market share of the automotive space, right? Because in theory, if the other one was getting bigger, you should see this going smaller, even
yeah.
if it's not growing at the same rate. But if it's staying the same, it means it's at least growing at a rate where it's not getting eaten up.
Yeah.
Um,
Smartphone has
uh,
been
yeah,
taking a hit.
mhm. Yeah, like the smartphone. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But my question in smartphone, should, is it only smartphones or is it all handheld devices?
Um, it could, I believe, it's all handheld devices. So anything that has kind of that low, it could be like a tablet. I
Mm.
think they break it down a little bit more in their thing. I know in high performance computing, you do have computers there. You have kind of your laptops. It's not just data center stuff. It's not just massive AI chips. It's also kind of like the it could be just your traditional desktop and laptop CPU. I'm not sure like when you start to go into like those lower like the tablets solutions, if that would fall in high performance computing. Um, Maybe smartphone is probably pure smartphone, but I do believe they will break it down a lot better in their 10K report.
Yeah, because if it's like tablets as well, then I would assume that we could see a bump, or maybe we have seen already, because I think Apple will come out with a suite of new products pretty soon, like a new lineup for 2026 across the
Mhm.
board. So maybe that has already happened, or that could happen in the upcoming quarters. Remains to be seen. But yeah, 3 nanometers went from 15% of revenue to now 24%. 5 nanometers basically stayed flat-ish.
Mhm.
And 7 went from 17 to 14%. So definitely 3
Yeah,
nanometers becoming, of course, a bigger
yeah,
chunk.
and you would expect 5 nanometer to be flat because a lot of the current past two generations of,
Mhm.
at least for Nvidia, have been on 5 nanometer. They're on 4 nanometer, but 4 nanometer is pretty much just a subsection of 5 nanometer. The Hopper was 5 nanometer for that 4 nanometer, and the Blackwell as well. I think the MI300 and maybe the MI355 as well are both on that platform. So um, not two generations, but at least two of those big AI chips are still within that platform.
Yeah, and here we get a small explanation here. So gross margin was 58.6%, a percentage point lower than Q1, primarily due to an unfavorable foreign exchange rate and margin dilution from our overseas fabs, partially balanced by higher capacity utilization rate and cost improvement efforts. So this is basically the explanation for the small
Mhm.
gross margin difference. Now, to
Okay.
go back to your big question about capex, we can of course go here to our friends at
Mhm.
fiscal.ai, and actually we can listen to the whole thing. But let's be honest, we're not here to listen to 1 hour of an earnings call. We can do the AI summary, or I already have the question right here. So what did management say about 2026 tariffs and long-term outlook? We can just put that into the custom summary here, and it will tell us what management has said, so we do not have to listen to an hour of earnings call. So Regarding 2026, management anticipates continued strong demand, particularly for leading-edge technologies like N2. They expect N2 revenue contribution to be significant, potentially exceeding that of N3 in its initial ramp-up phase, driven by both smartphone and HPC applications. Okay, so here we get already some smartphone comments. While they are working on pricing strategies to reflect the impact of foreign exchange rates, they express confidence in achieving long-term gross margin of 53% or higher. A 16 volume production is on track for the second half of
Nice.
2026. Now, as for the tariffs, because yesterday we've heard ASML talk about tariffs, so of course we have to listen to TSM. So management acknowledge the potential impact of tariff policies, especially on consumer-related and price-sensitive end markets. While rebate programs in China are stimulating some near-term demand, they believe this is short-term in nature. They are being prudent in their business planning for the second half of 2025 and 2026, taking into consideration the possible impact of tariffs and other uncertainties. This caution is reflected their implied Q4, so about Q4, I guess Q3, which anticipates a potential decline, or maybe they did touch on Q4 as well, although they remain ready to
because
capitalize.
I think right now, Neil, if you look at the year-to-date revenue growth, is about 40%. But then they mentioned that for the full year, they actually expect they increased it to about 30%. Prior was 25% or 20%. But still, even if you do 30%, you still expect some weakness somewhere. And it seems like management is saying we're okay, going to be in quarter three. But there might be a bit of a slowdown in quarter four due to some. And I don't think it's a pull down demand. It's just there's just such crazy demand that it starts to look a little bit different. You have higher comps to compare, right? You have a higher so quarter four of last year was amazing already. So it's going to be very hard to see some of those comparables in the upcoming quarters.
Yeah, and as for long-term outlook, they remain positive on the long-term outlook. By the way, also for 2026, right? They basically say what ASML was saying yesterday, right? They're not really wanted to commit. They know there is demand, but based on the current situation, they're not willing to commit, which probably makes the comments from ASML a little bit better than what the market was previously expecting. Now, TSM maintains a positive long-term outlook driven by the fundamental strength of semiconductor demand and the increasing need for computation due to the explosive growth in AI model usage. They are investing heavily in global manufacturing capacity, including significant expansion in the United States, Japan, and Europe, while continuing to invest in Taiwan. These investments are based on customer needs, value, strategic flexibility, and government support. They are focused on technology leadership, manufacturing excellence, and customer trust to strengthen their competitive position and deliver profitable growth for shareholders. And then the last part here, they are also working to narrow the gap between demand and capacity for advanced packaging solutions like CoWoS. So I assume you want a specific question about CoWoS or not?
Of course.
which was?
What does management see about the AI market, CoWoS, and just put I just add also and capital expenditure. I'm pretty sure this can handle and capex. Yes.
Magic of AI. Love it.
And while we're getting that, I want to answer this question. So, Captain Harris, TSMC speaks about the uncertainty due to tariffs and prices up, while ASML makes the same yesterday and boom, down 10%. So, Captain Harris, I do believe there is a big difference here. ASML said it, and they actually mentioned that they didn't know if 2026 was going to be a growth year, and it was very hard for them to give guidance. TSMC says it, that there's uncertainty, but they still increased their previous guidance. So there's for ASML, it's like, is it really just a tariff impact, or is there more? I did a video yesterday. I'm pretty sure Neil, you did one. In my video, Neil, I said I consider this buying a dip opportunity if one wants kind of that big capital player in a portfolio. because I think long term there's a lot of opportunity. I think the market is wrong there, but I understand why the market would punish it based on the information they gave us. It was TSMC gave us the same information plus more, and they upped their guidance. So you don't have to punish that for that reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
So let's see what they say.
Yeah, let's see what they said. So management provided insight into the AI market, CoWoS chip on wafer on substrate capacity. I mean, thank God for the short name, because imagine you would have to say this time and time again. And capex. So basically, AI market. TSMC management sees robust and increasing demand in the AI sector, driven by factors such as strong AI and HPC demand, explosive growth in token volume, which means increasing AI model usage and adoption require more computation, leading to higher demand for leading edge silicon, rising demand for sovereign AI, of course. Although I did see that the US and the UAE deal is slowing down due to some security reasons. But okay, to be expected, I guess. AI chip size and power consumption, and A16 adoption. The A16 node is expected to be adopted by AI data centers due to its power efficiency improvements. Then, as for CoWoS, management acknowledged the high demand for CoWoS and is actively working to increase capacity, so narrowing the gap basically between supply and demand, building new facilities, and they're still seeing some strong momentum. So the momentum for AI-rated demand and CoWoS remains very healthy. As for capex, they're maintaining the 2025 capex guidance despite raising the 2025 revenue forecast. The capex budget remains between $38 to $42 billion. Management
Which
is
is good because
mindful.
they had raised it before. They had raised it last quarter. So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
wouldn't expect them to do it nonstop, right?
Yeah, which again could also be the same thing for the big tech companies that will report, right? Because they've been upping their capex as well. We know what the plan is for this year. I'd be surprised to see them actually continue to increase it each and every quarter. Management is mindful of potential tariff-related impacts and other uncertainties, leading to a more conservative approach. And then capex investments are driven by future business opportunities, and TSM will not hesitate to invest if the opportunity arises. TSM can adjust capacity between different nodes, for example, using N7 capacity to support N5 to address demand. And as for the long-term perspective, it is unlikely that TSM's capex will drop significantly in any given year, given the company's size and the need to invest in future growth. So, voila, pretty good commentary. And this is also, like you said, even though they did provide us some color on 26 and the tariff situation, the big difference here between them and ASML is that, well, here you can clearly see some positive commentary and still continued growth without any slowdown to be expected, at least not in the near term.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, with ASML, right, the thing is you're all at the mercy of selected amount of individuals. And TSM, right, they could be doing a little bit better with their low NA EUVs, and they can just be pushing some of that high NA EUVs a little bit further, but eventually they're going to sell, right? So I think the long-term tailwind is still there. It's more if you were expecting, and they didn't raise capex, Neo, but I guess the market is enjoying that TSM didn't reduce capex either. That yesterday the market could have seen, look, all this uncertainties that ASML is talking about. Maybe we're going to see TSM say, look, we've actually rethought of our capital expenditure. We're going to decrease it a little bit. But today it was like at least that part of the fear was taken out of the equation. We're not seeing a little bit of a slowdown from TSM. That means that maybe hopefully some of the other manufacturers don't do a slowdown either. But it's also a very competitive space. Intel and Samsung have been kind of on not the best part of this race. So they also have to look at their own balance sheets and stuff like that to make sure things are it makes sense for them to buy new equipment. So it's a different story, but I think the long-term tailwind for the semiconductor industry is still pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, if we go and look at ASML real quick, In Amsterdam, stock is already open, so it's up 2.7%
Mhm,
at the moment. So a small
mhm,
rebound right now for ASML. We did have some comments from Goldman on SK Hynix, which is why
mhm,
Micron is down at the moment, a couple of percentage points. And so they said the following. Goldman downgraded SK Hynix to neutral for the first time over 3 years. So, okay, I was like, interesting. Piqued my interest here. Citing concerns about HBM pricing and competition, especially from Samsung. The analyst expects HBM pricing to decline for the first time in 2026, which could shift pricing power towards customers like Nvidia, a key
mhm.
buyer of SK Hynix. The downgrade ends Goldman's buy rating held since 2021. Hynix shares fell nearly 9% on the news, while Samsung rose over 2%. The firm noted Hynix's strong stock return, 57% year to date, may no longer reflect emerging risks, especially if Samsung closes the technology gap. Mire, I think that's how you call it, Asset also downgraded the stock this week, projecting Samsung will gain HBM share in 2026 and 2027. Um, Here's some more commentary on that note. Basically, here HBM speed bump in 2026. So interesting, right?
Mhm.
Interesting because they don't mention Micron in this story. This impacts Micron just because they
A new
compete with
competitor.
Samsung, yeah. And
Mhm.
so I don't know. It's because if maybe there is a note that will come out for Micron from them pretty soon if they cover it. Because if they see Samsung coming back in and hurting SK Hynix, why aren't they saying the same for Micron? Or is
Mhm.
Micron also taking share? I don't know. I mean,
I,
based on
I don't
Micron's,
know. Do they have I don't know what. Maybe they might not have a bullish um
yeah, exactly.
are
Maybe they just don't
that's
cover
the
it.
yeah, that might be the other thing. But I believe with this competition, I can see why it would trickle down to Micron, but SK Hynix is like far the leader. So if it is real competition from Samsung, and unfortunately I think we're gonna really have to wait and see that out, because Samsung has been really saying that they're gonna do something, and it hasn't been working out in a lot of the different industries. um but if they do come out, obviously the big player would probably be the one to take the bigger hit.
Yeah.
Um, I think Micron could definitely take a hit, but then you have to find out, what is there more of? Is there more AI demand than HBM supply, or is there going to be more HBM supply than AI demand? And even if it's the first, if there's more AI demand than HBM supply, this would not matter at all. All those three companies are going to have massive pricing power um, over the customer. If it's obviously the other, then that could spare not a lot of fear, but some risk for the memory companies. So we would have to try to figure out how does the supply chain line looking. But these memory companies also try to do their best to make sure they don't ever oversupply. It doesn't always work out. That's why it's a cyclical market, but they do try their best. And with HBM, you have this massive trade-off ratio of DRAM, where for every one HBM, you use about 4 DRAM, which is that alone helps the supply dramatically. Or it's a 3-to-1 ratio for HBM4 is a little bit higher. Um, but yeah, I wonder if they keep that all into account. I don't know where to get kind of these analyst thoughts from these people, but if they in their report they show kind of the supply demand and the AI demand, maybe I would probably have a little bit more trust in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be because Micron reported just a couple of weeks ago, and their commentary for 2026 was still pretty positive. So yeah, I don't know. It's again, it's 2026, so Samsung has some time to come out with something that is quite competitive. So we'll see. We'll see. I do wonder what the other equipment makers, because they did rebound yesterday quite a lot. So
Yeah, I was surprised that they by like 11 o'clock, most of the stocks that I was looking that were down like 3-4% only ended up about 1% down.
yeah,
Um, which is strange.
Yeah, Applied Materials, Lam Research. Let's see, Cluck.
My click and clack.
Okay, this one maybe now a little bit more, but yeah, they all like rebound. They all ended down red still, but way low,
Yeah.
like almost flat,
Hmm.
almost flat. Let's see what Intel is actually doing right now. Flat, flat as a pancake. Um, let's see AMD at the moment. Ooh, AMD 161. Is AMD also part of the meme stocks or?
Of course.
Okay. Nvidia is also part of it, so we're good. So we're good. We're good.
Don't you dare call my Nvidia meme stock.
Let's go and look at Google. Come on.
The world is
Could
okay then. That means the
yeah,
world is fine though, Neil.
yeah,
If this would have been part of the meme stock momentum too, then that's where we
yeah,
have issues.
yeah.
That's
But
when we get scared.
the real meme is this one. This is not normal. Like it's up 40% pre-market at the moment.
Boom, 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 boom. Did anything happen besides your video last night?
Besides my video, no, just I think more media picking it up or something like that. But I explained the whole thesis in the video, not just like, oh, we are going to $100 or blah blah blah. No, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with this stock. Like a reverse split would just basically make me sell instantly. Of course, if we stay above $1 for the next 8-9 days or so, then we don't like it, they don't risk a delisting from the Nasdaq, but there still is going to be that meeting. I think the 28th of July. And even if stockholders do vote for a reverse split, the company can still decide not to split. So it's really up to them. But the business is still losing money, although less today than a year ago. So okay, that's great. But houses inventory, they still have plenty. Revenue is going to come down in the back half of the year. So don't be surprised when you see revenue down year over year. It's by design, let's say, because they do want to improve their profits, which okay, I understand. But for it to become a, let's say, stable company, a lot of things do have to go in the right direction. I've seen, one of the main reasons why this has picked up, there is this guy Eric Jackson on X. I believe I don't know if he's a fund manager or something like that. He came out like, oh, $82 price target based on this and that. But like I checked on Uber, Lucid received an order from Uber.
Yeah, $300 million order.
Huh.
Uber to invest $300 million in Lucid as a part of Robo-taxi partnership. Uber is investing hundreds of millions in Lucid and Nuro to roll out at least 20,000 Robo-taxis in the U.S. over the next 6 years, starting in 2026. The fleet will use Lucid's Gravity SUV with Nuro Level 4 tech. Nuro's Level 4 tech. Never heard of Nuro,
Okay.
but
And I see that Lucid
and run
has
exclusively on Uber Up. Yeah, and at the same time, you're gonna see that too. Yeah.
filed 1 for 10 reverse stock split as we're talking about Open Door. But now to go back to Open Door, like be very aware of what's going on social media and people claiming that this thing can go to $50, $100, and get like multiples of like 10 times sales for a company like Open Door makes zero sense. Like with the margins that they have right now, you're not putting double digits multiple on that company. Plus, don't look at market cap, look at enterprise value, because they have quite a lot of debt. But there is definitely potential of a little 3-4x right now in the short run. And then if you're happy with that, just take the win and go on vacation and enjoy. Right? That there's no reason to stick around if the company does not turn around fully. So we'll see. Last thing, a lot of the price targets that you're going to see on social media are based on made up numbers. So I've seen like $12 billion in revenue by fiscal 27. There is no $12 billion by fiscal 27. The estimates that I'm seeing here are $7 billion. So quite less. So make sure not to get burned on this one. It's nice to be up almost 100% in a matter of days or 50% in a day, but don't get carried away with these things.
Yeah. We have Epic Strategy here, I guess, coming in with this Uber Lucid Robo-taxi. What normally happens with this kind of price action short Tesla? Did Tesla move a little bit on this news, Neil? I mean, it was specifically kind of like a Robo-taxi attack, I would
No,
guess.
this is Lucid at the moment. So
Yeah,
how much up is this? 42%.
42%.
Okay.
Neil, did you do a video?
On Lucid, no, I would never. I would not.
Tesla's
Yeah,
actually
Tesla.
up pre-market.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's see Uber. Uber is up a little bit as well.
Yeah.
After being down yesterday, which was also quite
Yo, this
strange.
one's been quietly a nice player. A nice one.
Uber this year has been,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up over 50%, I think.
This one's, I'm happy we both talked about this one.
Yeah. I mean, you see, this is not a meme stock. This is like a solid market destroyer. Slowly but surely.
And then what does Uber deal with Lucid mean for Pony AI? I wonder. I mean, I think not anything negative. I mean, the market might perceive it, but Uber is just trying to work with everybody, right? They don't have the technology for that robo-taxi, but that's not what they're trying to do, right? They want to have that market platform.
Yep.
So if you want to have that market platform, you also want to have competitors in that space. So you want to fuel the competition somehow. So if you can help maybe Lucid stay alive a little bit, and then you have the optionality that partner can eventually become a big player. Now you have multiple partners that can potentially end up winning in the robo-taxi market, right? So I think that's the main goal here with Uber and kind of things like this. Is not to pick a one-sided, but to make sure that the competition remains alive.
Yeah, I mean that's why we bought Uber, right? First of all, it was undervalued. There was a disconnect. Second of all, we bought Uber because we believe Uber is going to be that platform for all of those players, which is why it was strange when there was that announcement between Baidu and Uber like a day or 2 days ago. The stock didn't even move. Like Baidu is a pretty big player, and stock didn't move. But okay, I don't mind. I'm happy with my Uber position. So we'll see. We have your jobless claims came in at 221,000 in July. The estimated number was 233,000. So again, I guess pretty good right now. Uber having an autonomous Lucid could be nice marketing campaign too. Those things are flashy. Yeah, it's probably going to be like a luxury ride, because I mean these Lucid cars cost quite a lot. I think I've seen two in my life. Okay, it's normal because I don't think they're selling them here. But when I was in the States, I think I saw the two, like one in a store and the other one in Vegas, which makes sense because it's Vegas.
This is that Lucid Air, right? The one that's like 100 plus.
Or like the one that they're going to get is
but Lucid. That's is that the brand, right, where they only have premium expensive
yeah
EVs?
super expensive luxury EVs with like apparently the best battery and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean I guess it makes sense also because I think Lucid, the Saudi Arabian fund, right, is a huge investor. Basically, almost own Lucid, and so Uber could launch autonomous rides with Lucid in Saudi Arabia. I think the Pony AI agreement is to launch in the UAE. So
yeah,
pretty exciting.
I want to take a closer look. So robo-taxis are through 3 years behind at a minimum or away at a minimum, and the winners will be either Tesla or China. No one else. Achilles, you really think a market will ever only have one or two players? I mean, just in the car industry in general, right? I mean, cars were technological leaders at one point, and you start off with obviously hundreds of brands probably, and now you're down to maybe like 10. But I don't know of any market outside of maybe like ASML that is one player take all. So I can't see how this is the same thing. And it's something where this is more consumer dependent on who you like. It could be all about, hey, I actually don't like that brand. If another product can come out, maybe you're right in the short term where some might have a lead, but 3-4 years after that, it will become a form of commodity. And there's commodities always have competition one way or another. So I can't see this being a one or two market take all
Yeah,
in robo taxis.
plus, I mean, robotaxi are 2-3 years behind at minimum, and the winners would be either Tesla. I mean, how can you not put Waymo in the conversation here when Waymo is already doing robotaxis in multiple cities in the United States? So, like, I just don't see why that's still a conversation.
Yeah,
Roberto,
that's true. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's just like I can't think of any piece of technology that has only had one winner. From my laptop, I can buy so many different laptops. It's crazy to think about, but eventually, the robo-taxi world, the technology behind there is going to be seen as nothing. Right now, it seems pretty exciting, but then it's going to be so normalized that we're going to think of it as just the technology in the laptop. And in the laptop space, in every kind of product that I have in here, I can have bought it from any other player as well.
yeah.
So
Plus, I mean,
yeah,
we could have the Apple scenario, right, where we have multiple smartphone brands, but Apple does have the majority of the profits of the smartphone market, and that could be what's going to happen with Tesla because they're vertically integrated, right? They make the cars, they make the tech, and all of that. So I agree on that front, but I don't agree that there is just going to be two players in that
yeah.
market.
I think maybe at the beginning you're going to have this market share that's going to be led by maybe one or two,
Mhm.
but it eventually technology becomes it unless there's massive innovations. But after you get a robo taxi that drives better than a human, what's the next thing from there that you can kind of create a moat out of? And then it's if time is the moat, eventually players are going to find a ways to compete in it. No one's going to stand still and let one person have it all. Um,
Yeah, no, I
mm,
agree. Plus, I mean, Roberto asked you why isn't Tesla buying a Lyft, for example? I mean, Lyft doesn't cost that much money right now, but for Tesla, I mean, for the same reason that Tesla doesn't want to list Tesla robotaxis on Uber, they want to do everything themselves. So for them, it doesn't make any sense to buy Lyft um, purely because they want to have the platform Tesla exclusive. Is it going to be the right move or not? Remains to be seen. I just don't see why they would not list. Plus, I can 100% say that people with Teslas will list their Teslas on Uber for sure.
yeah, if I had if I have like my Tesla, if I could robo taxi, I would rather put it in a place where it's a marketplace. Um, the other thing, I feel like why would Tesla want to buy a platform when I'm pretty sure they can try to, if they wanted to, they can squeeze it out and be like, you want me in your platform? Let's make an exclusive deal. You actually pay me to be there. So I could see that instead. So why would you want to go and buy a platform where you can kind of and pay something when you can probably get paid to become an exclusive partner in the future?
I mean, just like the deal though that we've seen with Lucid and Uber. I
Yeah.
could see Uber raise money or use their billions in cash flow and just buy a huge fleet of Tesla vehicles and put it on the Uber network.
Hmm. Hmm.
Isn't that the end goal here eventually? I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Um, plus, yeah, right now Waymo has luxury cars because they have infinite cash. The Jaguars, yes, are very expensive, but the next generation are already. I think I saw a report saying that they're already
Kias
Hyundai.
are some of them. Hyundai, yeah,
They are
Hyundai's.
like $30,000 less. So the price of each vehicle of each generation is coming down. Not just the vehicle, but all of the radars, cameras, lidars, all of that cost. Right? I mean, I'm tired of seeing the same BS on social media, like, oh, a Waymo costs $200,000. No, a Waymo today does not cost $200,000. It hasn't cost $200,000 for a while now, actually. And yes, a Hyundai Ioniq 5 is costing them less. They have a partnership with Toyota. Remains to be seen what car they're going to be using there. They have a partnership with Zeekr. And so the cost of a Waymo, deploying a Waymo, is coming down. But yes, I agree. Waymo has that luxury of having basically Google's cash cow behind them. But eventually, I do think that Waymo will be a standalone company. It will actually probably go public as well, probably in the next five years or so. And so you would need a solid business. And a solid business happens when you go and grow at scale. Let's see. Someone asked me, AST Space Mobile or Rocket Lab? I mean, I have Rocket Lab, so I'll have to choose Rocket Lab. It's a 10 bagger for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I am a Rocket Lab. But I did last year, I was more bearish on AST Space Mobile for good reasons. And a couple of weeks ago at $23, I was a bit more bullish, and now we're at 50. So you can thank me later.
I can thank you now. Thank you.
You,
There's this question here, Neil. Ouster or on semi or on two? First, I don't know the first one. I'm not too familiar with that one, so I'm not gonna. It's gonna be between on semi or on two. If I had to pick one, two different markets. So on semi is something. If I was extremely bullish in kind of the automotive, the EV market picking up pretty soon. Actually, I'm bullish on both, Neil, on semi and on two. If I may, I would say on semi will have a little bit longer time frame to get results because the automotive market has still some time to turn around. Onto though works a lot in kind of the semiconductor equipment space, and I think that market, especially they're a smaller player, they focus on things that are needed for the creations of these massive AI chips. So I think I like both Onto and on semi. I think Onto could probably be a better returner in a shorter time frame. But I do think on both of them will beat the market in like a five. If we put that 5-year timeline, Neil, I think both of them will beat the market in 5 years. They might be quiet. They might be really quiet for the first few years. But once things kick up, those would be massive destroyers, in my opinion. So it's you have to be patient for these and don't expect it next quarter or 2 quarters. So yeah, metrology, which is really crucial, especially as now we're getting into smaller chips, we're getting chips that stack on each other. You have to make sure all this is done really well and make sure your yields are good. So what does this one do, Neil? Design, manufacturer, digital LiDAR sensors. Oh, okay. No, I don't. I feel like I don't know too much about LiDAR sensors, Neil, that to know about what is the competitive moat there. So for that reason, I would put that one last. I would rank maybe Onto first, on semi second, and Ouster third. But I would throw out Ouster. Ouster.
Tesla is closer to bankruptcy than people think. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't say I'm bearish on that either.
I mean, how much cash do they have? 37 billion. I don't know. $37 billion in cash to go bankrupt is something. It's something. Oh, crystal ball time. Crystal ball time.
We should have, now like, we should have like a little
when will we have our seasonal correction? Good question. Good question. Do you have like a Yu-Gi-Oh card that's like that shows us? I don't know when we'll have our. It's true. It's true that we are definitely feeling very good about the market, which is usually a bad sign. But then I go back to the companies that we own, and we're like, are they as overvalued as in 2021? I'm like, no. Like Nvidia, AMD, Google. Of course, I have to talk about Google, PayPal, etc., etc.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Microsoft, everyone. We're not at that 2021 stage yet. Are there companies that are going nuts? 1,000%. 1,000%. We've talked about those companies. We even own some of those companies as YOLO bets, so we fully admit that. But again, that's why those are YOLO bets and not core positions in the portfolio.
Yeah, agree.
So I wouldn't be surprised if suddenly we have like a week where these names are suddenly down 30%. I would not be surprised. But I would be surprised to see a Google or something like that be down 30% suddenly. I think there is a higher chance of Google being up 30% than down. Or maybe that's hopium. I don't know.
Mr. Davis, I can't believe someone said the C word. At first I was like, what was the C word? But yeah, we don't bring that correction nonsense around here. But to me, it's like, I feel like when I start doing a little bit more of those small random yellow bets is when we're maybe deemed a little bit for some form of C word around here.
So maybe let's do a pullback.
A pullback. Yeah. So, but I think as long-term investors, right, this is opportunity times for us. And it all depends, right? I'm pretty sure we have all different types of ages watching us. It must suck if you maybe are a little bit older and need that money within the next few years. But for someone like us, Neil, I corrections are fun. Not fun, but nice after the correction is over. The correction itself might not be fun. We have
Therapy
our
time.
therapy session. Yeah, we have our therapy sessions here on the live streams. But hopefully, if I don't know.
If we have a
But
pullback.
yeah, if we did, what would you say, Neil? Would it be closer to now, end of the year, or sometime next year?
I mean, now is earnings season, so certain names could definitely have a pullback because a lot of them are just priced to perfection. So if they don't deliver, I'm not even talking about the big tech companies, because I think the big tech companies are going to deliver for sure. It's more about the smaller names that have just run too fast, right? A Rocket Lab, I love Rocket Lab. I just guess it did run up too fast, and although they will deliver because we already know how many launches happened last quarter, etc., but any bad news, let's say around guidance and Neutron, could slash this thing in, I would say, a half almost, like just like that. So I'm looking forward for this earnings season for sure.
Yeah.
A pullback, I don't know. Isn't
I
September like
think,
the month of the pullback or something like that?
yeah, I would say the only thing is just it's not anything company, at least for maybe for those companies that you mentioned, right? It's earnings could definitely play a massive volatile. It's like, hey, we were expecting 100% revenue growth, you gave me 10. What's going on here?
Hmm.
But even in the popular names, we are still in an era where the AI market is running it. So any headlines can create, and that's the thing about the AI market. At least the tech is like any random headline, like a DeepSeek moment. Not necessarily a DeepSeek again, because that would, I think the market would just laugh at that if something like that happened. But something around there where the market wasn't expecting it, and it seems like game over, and then it kind of craters all the big tech names with it. So it's more, I think, more of like some headline thing that the market doesn't understand and
Like the
creates
DeepSeek.
overreaction. Yeah, yeah.
Like the DeepSeek. Okay, no, makes sense. In the
But I
meantime,
feel like in
let me show
in
you.
earnings from fundamentals, I don't think. See, this is when it's too yellowish. When Neil pulls $100 worth of cards
200.
and
200.
200,
Lovely.
he, he can buy an Nvidia share with that.
I can buy an Nvidia
Trade
share with
it.
that. Yeah.
We should have
Yeah.
a Pokemon trade to stocks
Startup
market.
idea.
Yeah,
Startup idea.
startup
You can
idea.
trade your Pokemon card for stocks. Let me talk with
Um,
Fnatic about this one. Let's see. Yeah, no Oscar downgrade today. I mean, I think the first time in a week where Jose can listen to us talk about Oscar without having to talk about a goddamn a downgrade. But even without a downgrade, the stock is is down pre-market a little bit, though, not by much, a little bit. So at least there is that. Someone asked here about, I think, Alibaba, since I own that name. That's also not one of those meme names. So Alibaba, yeah, went up when we talked about the whole Chinese companies. That went up a little bit. So Alibaba, $115 right now. I still like it. I still think it's very undervalued, but okay. This is maybe something that you can tackle, right? Because you have a Tesla that can drive itself. So it says here, to think Tesla can make a robo-taxi anytime soon seems just wrong. I'll start by saying they already have a couple of robo-taxis in Austin driving each and every day. So it's not wrong. It's reality. Plus, Jose has a Tesla that drives itself as well.
Yeah, I mean, my wife uses it every day to go to work. This is, I'm pretty sure, the only reason she makes it to work, because she gets up so early, because it's a long commute, and I wouldn't be shocked if she fell asleep a few times or like had one eye open, and the only reason she made it was because of Tesla's FSD. But I mean, every time I drive Neo, I pretty much put it on. It's only when I feel like I want to drive. Sometimes you have that itch that you just want to drive. I don't put it on. There are certain times when I don't feel comfortable with it, Neo, but those comfortabilities is not that I've ever um, experience something negative from the Tesla itself, but it's more that I don't have the trust from it because I don't have the experience in certain scenarios, right? So it's like, rather not risk it for the biscuits, let me just turn it off really quick. But it's not like it's given me something. There's definitely been a few bugs, so it's not perfect. Let me just say it's definitely not perfect. There was one time it actually drove on the wrong way of the street. So it's definitely not perfect, but I would love. I've used it so many times, right? I have so many miles on that car already. A lot of it has been FSD. I've never been in a Waymo with in a Waymo product, and I'm curious if I had driven the same amount of miles on a Waymo within that same time frame, would I feel the same type of way? Or would I have experienced certain type of mistakes as well? So I can't correlate it, but I definitely see it being really close there, and we actually see it in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you don't have to sit in the driver's seat, you sit behind, is
Mhm.
is technically by definition a robo-taxi. You open your app, you order it, it comes, and it's basically like a Waymo without all
Mhm.
the extra equipment on top of it. Plus, I know that for regulation purposes, they have to be defined as level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, etc., etc. But
Mhm.
as a person that uses the product, you can probably say, yes, it is a
Yeah.
robo-taxi. So,
100%. Yeah. Every time I get in there, I get wild that I can buy this car at this price. I do think that's impressive, right?
yeah.
You can buy it at that type of price point and have the vehicle with that type of speed. The range is perfect, and that type of technology. That I think that's one of the biggest reasons when I turn on the FSD is like I can afford this. Um, even though I'm not a brokey, but it's like I'm frugal with what I spent money. And it's like for me to not have buyer's remorse on something like it means that the tech itself is worth the cost.
Yeah. Like, I guess that's the most important part here. Um, SoFi, I think they report earnings also. At Uber, Google does report earnings next week, next Wednesday, by the way. So that's going to be very interesting for both of us, for the sake of our well-being. SoFi reports July 29th, so this one will have a bit more than a week. Now, right now, as you can see, stock is basically up 150% since the April lows. But again, as I've said time and time again, don't just focus on, oh, it's up from the April lows, because the April lows didn't make any sense. Okay. For a lot of companies, this crash here didn't make any sense. Just look at where we were at the start of the year. And at the start of the year, we were already at $18 or so. So it's up, let's call it 18% since the top at the start of the year. Does that make sense? I think so. I think SoFi has
Mhm.
deserved to trade at a higher price because they've delivered. They now also announced the comeback of the crypto business. We know that the loan platform business is doing very well. We know that lending is doing well for them. We also know that the tech platform a year from now will have revenue that it did not recognize. I mean, that you did not see today. So, yes, it is stretched on the weekly and especially on the daily. It is definitely stretched, but is it justified? I think so. I think so. I think it's about time this name got a little bit more respect, in my opinion. Now, what happens after? Yeah, exactly. What happens after earnings? We know, like good earnings, triple beat, stock goes down. Can Will it be the same right now? I mean, depends on the market's mood, right? If the market is still like in a YOLO mood, then I guess we go up. Um, but we'll see. Uh, SoFi has a new partnership. Huh. Let me check that. SoFi has a new partnership. Are you talking about the private marketing that they announced like 10 days ago, or there's something new that
With
came
the
out?
paychecks,
Paychecks.
literally just had it in the other one.
Paychecks and
Yeah.
SoFi at work join forces to expand. Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's see. 9 minutes until the market opens.
Opens in the moment while you're looking here. I'm just gonna put Michael posted TD Cohen price target on Pfizer 230 from 28. Not sure one follow, but thank you, Michael. Appreciate sharing it with the community.
Yeah, everyone that does get like a price target changes and analyst comments or whatever, do put it in the chat. Always good, always good to know.
Mhm.
So apparently, customer employees using Paycheck Flex perk will receive access to SoFi's personal finance tools, supporting a critical need for today's workforce. Um, okay, it's an industry-leading human capital management. So a bit like what's that other company? Paycom, I think. I think Paycom is one of these other companies that does this. So they partner up with SoFi to bring financial well-being resources and solutions at SoFi at work to users of Paycheck Flex perks. So another integration, um, and more, I guess, more money that could flow into SoFi that way. Good, that's good. I don't think it's going to be a game changer, but always good. Always good to know. Always good to know. Let's see. Let's see what another one of those names that still 292. It's time still to time to Laura. I think we have time. I mean, they'll report earnings 10 days from now. I think around 10 days from now. So we have time to make more moves on that name for sure, for sure. I don't know. Have you been following this Genius Act, the crypto thing in the United States, whether that passes or not? I don't know. A lot of things going on this week, I guess.
No, that one I did not. I was hoping you were following that.
No, too complicated. Like every single day, there's something else going on there. Coinbase hit 400 actually yesterday. Not bad. This thing has gone. I mean, it probably also 10x. Since the lows. Yeah, since the lows in 2022, Coinbase basically 10x. Makes sense, I guess. Makes sense with Bitcoin at all-time highs. It makes sense that a name like Coinbase goes up that much. What has happened with Circle recently? Well, okay, Circle has gone up again. That's wild, this one. I'm not going to look at who, but I'm going to look at the other one.
Did you see yesterday, Neo? It seems like someone in OpenAI confirmed that they are expected to use Google's cloud infrastructure.
Google Cloud, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Sam Altman that said it? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's the reports that we have seen 10 days or so ago as well. And it seems like it's just recycled news.
Is it? That's what I was fearing because I was
because
looking
the
at
stock did
CNBC
not
really
react.
quickly. Yeah.
The stock did not really move on that news. So again, people just posting for the sake of impressions.
Yeah.
But yeah, CoreWeave at 143. What happens with the cores? Yeah, and basically now it's going to follow, I think, CoreWeave's price action.
Wait, what's happening?
No, cores
and
and
CoreWeave.
Yeah, I think now we're going to see the same thing.
I think they've
Yeah.
met. Yeah.
So I guess
There
the
was that
market
huge
has
dip.
said that $12.5 for cores, and let's see what it was. 125 for CoreWeave is where we are putting the line in the sand.
It's almost like a 10x because there always has to be some form of difference between kind of and as we get closer, that arbitrage gets smaller. But it got a lot smaller compared to it was before.
Yeah, no, for sure. What's up with the ads interrupting the stream and muting you guys? It places you in a split screen, mutes you in the commercial place. I have seen this a couple of days ago when I put my VPN on US to try out AI mode. Yeah. And I didn't know this was how YouTube did ads in streams. I thought it was like, it like cut me off and put the whole thing, but no, it splits the stream. So you can still watch us talk, you just don't hear us, and the ad plays. It's a pretty cool thing. Although, well, yes, we get muted because obviously they want you to listen to the ad and not these two guys here. But yeah, we don't control the ads. We just let YouTube do its thing and continue talking.
I like this epic strategy. Epic strategy. This might be an epic strategy for others who might be good for traders. For I mean, for me, I'm not the type to just sit and trade. So not something I would normally do. Um, I talk
Mm,
about stocks the way I handle my portfolio. For me, I'm pretty sure for both us, Neil, it's like our YouTube channels are more like a weird to say like our stock trading notebook or diary
a
of how
diary.
we
Yeah.
yeah what we think and what we do with our portfolio. And live trading would not be something I would do. I would be like
No.
getting ready to buy or sell, and I hear my little one crying. I come back. I'm either very rich or very broke.
Yeah, no, it's not worth my it's not worth my energy, my time either. Like to watch these candles like go tick tick ting ting ting. It's not.
Hey, I like this. Ads are how the guys get paid. Yes, I'm so Neo with it. Yeah,
I mean,
I
yes.
like this, Waldo. It's pretty funny. He made me laugh.
Uh, yeah, smart people watching us. Smart
Yeah.
people. Uh, yeah, markets will open in 3 minutes. I know. Josh asking your question about Salesforce. So Salesforce is back to the same prices we've not seen since a month or so ago. Seems like that was a bottom back then. Again, these are just voodoo candles, right? This is a crystal ball, black magic type of thing. But yeah, I still think that Salesforce is a good business. It's definitely not a business that has been growing extremely rapidly, as you can see right here, like revenue growth 11.4% compounded over the last 3 years. And now it's only expected to grow around 9% for the next 2 years. Compound EPS growing a little bit faster than that. You could say that with the acquisition of, what was the name? Informatica, I think, that could accelerate revenue. AI could accelerate revenue. But it is it's a good company. Like
Yeah.
margin wise, it's a very good company.
They're really trying to get it all or put it seems like put all their baskets on the AI agents.
Yeah.
But what happens when all the other players come in with it soon? So I'm just a little skeptical here.
Mhm.
I mean, Google is getting really close with when Mariner comes out, right? We've talked about that one, Neo. And today, OpenAI is actually having a live stream at about 1 p.m. Eastern, um, where they're gonna. Many people are expecting more of a agentic solution. So what would that do with something like Salesforce if that's kind of their overall thought thesis? And it's not that I'm saying OpenAI will take the whole market, but it's like if OpenAI can do it, why won't Google do it? Why won't Perplexity do it? Why won't all these? And it now becomes a multi-competitive space. And I don't follow Salesforce, and if that's the bullish sentiment,
No,
what would
it's you're right. Um, this is not the market open just yet. Just putting it there in case I keep talking. But with Agent Force, basically Salesforce agents, it's all about proprietary data. So it's all about all the data that's inside the Salesforce ecosystem, and that's not something anyone else can
you
do.
can complicate? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can duplicate. Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
So that's basically their strength
Yeah.
for Salesforce. And I can understand the market willing to see maybe an acceleration in revenue growth for now. But yeah, it still is a very solid, very solid and profitable company. That's for sure. That's for
And
sure.
just this question, yeah, they reported earnings already. I think the stock was up about 2-3%. I don't know where it's at right now. We will see how it opens today, but it seems like just great sentiments towards the semiconductor space.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think there was anything worrisome that we saw on the top level. If we
No.
do, we most likely will do a video. We'll probably do a deeper dive throughout the day, and if anything, we will do a video on it later today.
Yeah. And yeah, if you have a family and things like that, you should definitely try YouTube Premium.
Yeah, 100% worth it.
Yeah.
If
I
my friends
am
don't have it, I just end up leaving.
hmm, I am not going to Spa at the moment. Try to get tickets, but did not get any tickets for now. So no Spa, no Spa for me.
I thought
It's
it was like a spa where you were getting like a massage and stuff like
yeah, no,
that.
it's F1
Uh,
in
I
in
was like,
Belgium.
man, Neil,
but
with
I
those
but I
open doors.
but I was at spa for a massage and things like that 2 weeks ago. um, it's like an hour and something drive from here. It's like very chill.
Florian, it needs to escape people's minds too, okay, Florian? So don't even think about it. Oh man.
So we continue the streak with Oscar being down when we talk about Oscar on the stream, but this time it's without a price target downgrade, unless unless there is one that's going to come out pretty soon. But I haven't seen anything. So Oscar is down 2.28%. Let's actually look at the main overview at the moment here.
Go ahead.
So it seems like everything's flat. Voila, that's the main overview at the moment. It seems like everything is flat right now.
Welcome to the market open.
Yeah, I mean,
too long, don't watch. Everything's flat. See you guys later.
It's better flat than red. What do we have? Oh, Netflix is up a little. Netflix report after hours today. We are not going live, by the way. Micron is down 3.6% on that SK Hynix Goldman note. Other than that, what do we have? What is this? Qualcomm down 1.26%. Interesting. This one is not getting any love at all. Clack down 2%. All the rest here still doing.
You mentioned
nothing.
Micron down about 4%, right? That one was, well, again, I guess it's definitely that SK Hynix thing, but it's crazy how the market is putting this massive fear on the HBM right now.
Yeah. So what do we have here? We have a Micron down 4.2%, and then Oscar down
Unity
2.6.
up. Oh, sorry.
Unity
up another 6%, 36.
Novo Nordisk is still going down. Iron down. I do think they're having an event, I think tomorrow or something. Marvell down 0.7%. Bitcoin is down a little bit. Google, of course, it's down. Why not? HIMS is down 0.4%. Uber, I guess Uber can say that they're partnering up with the whole world for robo-taxis, and the market will just say, we don't care. It's basically flat. PayPal, PayPal is not moving anywhere. Robinhood is
market's still good then.
Everything's flat other than Oklo, which is up 4.6. Rocket Lab up another 4.5, almost at $50. Voldemort is up 3%. The trade desk is at 2 point up, also 2 point something. AST is up. So okay, it seems like today is going to be a day.
CoreWeave is actually following the opposite of the one that shouldn't be named. I saw it down about 4%. I wonder if Course was moving with it too.
Yeah, CoreWeave down. Course is also down.
Yeah,
2.6%. Yeah, I think it's now going to be. Well, what's with my pumper? Wow, that's crazy.
As you see, I was not in part of this pump. Let it be known, I was not part of it. Do not send me any emails or letters. Thank you.
Or flowers. Let's see what Cypher is doing. Also down. What about our other YOLO bet here? Still above $10.
The test. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Roberto, we're still hanging, right?
Yeah, Roberto,
we're still doing,
right? Yeah, we're still doing well here. With Applied Digital, it seems like it's also like it went down with CoreWeave, and now it goes up a little bit with CoreWeave, although it does stay at $10 at the moment. What else did we want to look at real quick? Let me just look at my Chinese. Okay, nothing crazy there.
How's ASML? Did ASML pull up, or is it flat, dumping? It's holding.
Down 1.1, but that's in dollars. In euros, it's actually still up 2.4. 2.4. So yeah. ASML. Maybe let's look at Lamb.
Roberto says he's in open with the Sith Lord himself.
Oh. Welcome aboard. The door is still open. The door
and that's how we end the stream.
Yep. The the door is still open, but make sure it doesn't slam into your face at any time, or my face as well. So with that said, it's been a pretty good week. So far. We started
did
off
4
the
live
earning-
streams.
Yep, we started off
We're
the
doing
earnings
something.
season.
Yeah.
We will be back Monday, not tomorrow.
Monday.
Because tomorrow
Yeah.
we need a break. We need a break.
Hopefully I get some sleep.
Yeah. So Monday we're back. Next week, let me actually see if we have like an earnings calendar to show for next week.
Intel's definitely next week.
Google is next week.
Is it?
Yes, sir. Wednesday. You didn't get an invite from Sundar?
No.
Shame.
I didn't say the name enough times.
I've advertised his products so many times that he now considers me part of the Googlers.
Of the team. All right, yeah. So we have Alphabet and Tesla are going to probably be the most important on Wednesday.
Enphase on Tuesday for those that are interested.
Yeah, a few semiconductors. You have Texas Instrument. I don't think they're not popular at NXP, but there might be some semiconductor players there. I think Wednesday and Thursday are going to be the best with Intel on quarter 2.
But most of them are after hours, so I guess we'll have to do after hours stream.
I was going to say if we'll probably ask on Monday, maybe start a poll at the beginning, but it's like for Wednesday and Thursday, instead of the market open, do we do the earnings close? I don't know. I mean,
like
didn't close.
We
they
start
opened
before the close, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, Tuesday is interesting. Like SAP, Intuitive Machines, RTX, Coca-Cola, Enphase. Interesting names. What is this?
Yeah, I would love to see like Intuitive is one that I always have on my watch list to do more research on, but I always just feel it's expensive.
Yeah.
But with AI and robotics, it's like you do all that. Let me learn some more.
Yeah. So yeah, Wednesday we have probably it's Tesla, Alphabet. It's going to be interesting to hear IBM and ServiceNow. What they have to say.
ServiceNow, yeah.
And then Thursday, my lovely Intel, and some other whatevers. I mean, I guess Thursday is the day of the whatevers.
Roberto over here coming in. Both Jose lock in. I think I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to Neil. Maybe for like at least certain weeks we could do a 2 lock in, at least while there's like there's actual things to talk about.
Yeah, because if we can do like Thursday open and close, because with the open we can also like reflect back to what we said on Wednesday with like when there is like some huge companies report. I guess it makes sense.
Time to put aggressive on those ads, so instead of moderate.
Man, if you think that your condo in Florida is going to pay for itself, think again. And Captain Harris noted. Okay, with that said, time to go watch the Tour de France. For those that are interested, it's you don't know Tour de France cycling?
I'm about to go eat a tour to my kitchen.
Yeah, that's also good. I'm going to cycle in front of the TV with the cyclists. It's crazy, but mentally it helps a lot. It's insane. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for joining us this week today. Really appreciate the support. See you all on Monday. Next week is going to be incredible. And then the week after that,